Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the IEM Awards and Recognition Committee meeting webinar for the 2021 nominations. I'm Eileen Connors. I'm the awards chair. Rocky Lopes, the awards vice chair and past chair, is also with us today. Good morning, Rocky.
Hello, everybody.
Today we are going to talk about the awards categories, the nomination process, the deadline. We're going to answer your questions either by the end of the webinar or as we go along. The next slide, please. One aspect that was very popular last year is that the global and USA only award winners do receive a one-day pass to the conference. If they buy a conference pass, they'll get the equivalent value of a one-day pass deducted from their conference fee. Moving on to the next slide. To encourage you to, next slide, Rocky. There, thank you. To encourage you to go ahead, back up one. To do a nomination, to submit a nomination for a nominee, and to really put the effort in to make your nomination stellar and something that the judges cannot turn down, is that the nominators for the awardees will be entered into a drawing, and one will be randomly selected to receive conference credit so they can attend the USA conference for free, courtesy of IEM. Next slide, please. At the USA conference, there will be an award showcase. We're going to spotlight the winners in the Grand Rapids conference in October in Michigan. Details of that will follow. Next slide, please, Rocky. Moving on to the global award category, I want to point out to everyone that these awards, these 4 awards, are open to anyone, anywhere in the world. They are not specific to international or the US. So anyone in the world is eligible to be a nominee for these categories. That's the business and industry preparedness, partners in preparedness, which is the public-private partnership, public awareness, and technology and innovation. So moving on to the next slide is the USA Awards. These awards, the nominees have to be based in the US. There's a Clayton Christopher Memorial Award, which honors the county emergency manager. It's sponsored by Region 4. The Emergency Manager of the Year Award, which is at any level. The Career Excellence Award, which again is at any level, city, local, state, federal, private or public. The IEM Emergency Management Volunteer of the Year Award and the Emergency Management Voluntary Organization of the Year Award. Next slide, please, Rocky. The USA Uniform Services category, that person does need to be based in the US, and they need to be in some aspect of the uniform services. The details are part of the nomination form that you'll see online. There's the Auxiliary Member of the Year Award, Civilian Uniform Services Emergency Manager of the Year, and the Military Uniform Services Emergency Manager of the Year. The Student Award categories, the global awards are open anywhere in the world. The Student of the Year, Student Ally of the Year, and then the USA, the nominee needs to be based in the US. The Student Chapter of the Year and the Student Chapter Advisor of the Year. Rocky, handing it over to you.
Okay, thank you, Eileen. So Eileen just presented what all of the different awards are, and so I'm now going to describe the nomination process. One new thing and major change this year that makes the entry process much easier for everybody is that the awards entry process is all online. You can find it at the URL listed here. There's no entry fee for nominating from anyone who is an IEM member of any IEM council in the world. If you're not a member of the IEM, you may nominate someone, but there is a fee for non-members to nominate. As I just mentioned, new for this year, we're accepting online entries, and I'm going to go over in a few minutes how that works. And there will be no late submissions, so we'll remind you now and remind you frequently throughout this webinar that nominations are due by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, May 31st. And that's for all award categories, global, USA, Canada, and anywhere else. So, how do you enter? At that URL shown here and linked on the IEM website at iem.org/awards, the most important thing to do first is to read the award guidelines carefully. I have served as a judge of IEM Awards for 30 years, and I find the award entries that are compelling and most interesting to consider for selecting to receive an award are those that are written to address the direct issues and characteristics that are brought up in the awards guidelines. So read those guidelines. You'll find them on that web page, and it says specifically award guidelines, and it provides a link to each of the guidelines for all the different awards. Use the online entry process for USA and global awards, and I'll go over that in just a moment. You'll be prompted to log on or register on the IEM website before starting an application. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. IEM members are free to submit, non-members are $75. And then also some of the award entries require uploading supporting documents, and you may begin an award application, then go get the supporting documents, and then come back and complete it. As long as you upload the documents on the same award entry before the deadline, you'll be able to do that in one single entry form. So, how to enter an award nomination. Under the subtitle, it says nomination/application forms. There'll be a blue highlighted award category or a title of the award. If you click on that exact title, it brings you directly to the award entry for that award. So notice there are a number of different award entries. So you need to figure out which award you're entering for before you click on the link. And how to know which award you're entering for is to read the award guidelines, because it tells you which award is for what and what's required. When you first click on that blue highlighted award category in that under the heading of nominations and applications, it will prompt a log on or registration. And it looks exactly like is displayed in this webinar slide. It'll just ask for your account login, and that's your IAEM login username and the password that you have created or been assigned. If you've become a member but have not established yourself with an account on the IEM website, you need to register first, and that looks into the database, verifies you're a member, and then works with you on assigning or creating a unique password. If you're not a member and you wish to provide an award entry, you also still need to register. And that just captures your information that will populate some information on the award entry. And it helps us keep track of who is entering the awards process. As you continue, when you, after you log on or register, you'll come to the entry page for the respective award that you've clicked on. In this case, I'm giving the example of the Business and Industry Preparedness Award. And it just asks some basic information. If you already have an account on the IEM website, it pre-populates some of the basic information for you. Your name, your job title, your mailing address, and phone number, and so forth. As you continue to scroll down the page, it will ask additional questions. related to that specific award, and you just type that information in. So instead of a Word document with restricted number of blanks and boxes and so forth that were sometimes hard to manipulate, this one allows you to just enter it directly online. This is very similar to the way entries are provided for the IEM Scholarship Program or the workshop applications for a conference workshop. It's harnessing the same database capabilities that the IEM is using for a number of years for those other applications the IEM offers. So you just type in the information. Anything with a red asterisk is required information and may not be left blank. As you continue to enter the information and scroll down, it'll come to the bottom of the page, and that's where you can upload supporting documents. You may upload more than one supporting document if the award entry calls for it. For example, for the Career Excellence Award, it allows for up to 5 letters of recommendation from professional colleagues for the person being nominated for career excellence. So the nominator, the main coordinator of the entry, can upload scanned or PDF versions of the award support letters. Other awards have other supporting documentation that's required. For example, in public awareness, we like to see examples of items that are being highlighted or nominated for public awareness, such as brochures or posters or web pages, that type of thing. So you can add as many documents as apply by just clicking on the Add Another Document and keep adding away until you're satisfied with it. The most important thing to remember is upon completion of filling out the page of the award entry and uploading any relevant documents that you have to go with it, at the very end of this process, you must click on the blue rectangle button that says Complete Application. The application is not considered complete until you've filled everything out, uploaded everything, you're happy with it, and then you click on Complete Application. You will receive a confirmation email at the email address you entered at the top of the entry page, and you can consider the application complete when you receive that award entry confirmation. If you think you've all entered it right and you still haven't gotten that award entry confirmation, first check your spam, make sure it didn't go in there. And if you haven't found it in your spam and you didn't get the confirmation, we'll give you contact information here. Our IEM staff support person is Rebecca Campbell. She'd be the one that you should ask, have you seen my award entry? And she can look into the database and see what its status is. One other thing I want to emphasize is you do not have to enter an award entry all in one shot. That is, you can begin an entry and then you may need to take some time, days or a week or so, to gather supporting documentation. You will be able to find your award entry in your member profile. Click on it again to continue the award entry. It'll bring you back to the same page you were on, and then you can upload these supporting documents. And now I want to go over for our colleagues in IEM Canada. They have 4 Canada-specific awards for Canada Career Excellence, Canada Emergency Management Volunteer Award, Prepared Community Award, and the Merit Award. And very soon, hopefully today, the Canada-specific award guidelines will also be posted. The process for entering for the Canada Awards is a little different. It is not automated. It's not online this year. So you can, again, find the awards guidelines on the same web page that I provided before. There's no entry fees for nominations from IEM Canada members, but when you click on the award entry, it'll actually prompt a download of a Word file. You'll fill that out offline when you're finished with the Word file and have any supporting documents that may go with it. You email the entry as a block, such as the entry form and supporting documents, to the email address shown here and is also on every page of the awards, Canada Awards specific information. IEM Canada membership at outlook.com. And again, there's no late submissions for the Canada Awards. The deadline is May 31st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can find more information about the nominations for IEM Awards on one single page of the IEM website. The award categories is at the bottom of the page, and I showed you what those categories looked like before. It's blue highlighted under a subhead. It says IEM Award Categories. The Canada information and forms are available at the same link as above, and will be upon confirmation from our colleagues in Canada that we're expecting to get today. The forms for every award are similar, but the questions are different for each award. So make sure that you select the correct award category for each entry that you're submitting. You may submit more than one award entry if you have different people or programs or projects or things you wish to nominate. There's no limit to the number of entries any IEM member or non-member may enter. And we have had in the past some very enthusiastic sponsors and recognizers of outstanding individuals and programs who've submitted 2, 3, 4, or 5 entries for different things. And we encourage that. So there is not a limit.
Hey, Rocky,
Yes.
would like to stress to everyone on the call that you are welcome to submit your questions through the chat.
Right. If I'm not being thorough enough, or if you think of something, yeah, please add that in. The person submitting the nomination provides your own contact information. And so when it says at the top of the award entry, your name, that's specifically who you are, not the person you're nominating. There's another section on the form that asks who is being nominated, because we may need to contact the nominator for any questions or follow-up that we may have. Provide complete information about the award that you're entering, its importance, the involvement, the impact it's had. Particularly, we like to see statistics and samples, flyers, posters, websites that give us a full illustration of what you are nominating. Some of the award categories require specific letters of recommendation, such as in the Uniformed Services Caucus or Emergency Management Volunteer of the Year, the Volunteer of the Year Award, the Career Excellence Award. And again, the awards guidelines will tell you which awards require a letter of recommendation. Letters of recommendations are uploaded on that bottom section of the award entry where I described. And again, there's no entry fee for nominations from IEM members. To clarify one thing that I've heard asked in the past, say someone from IEM Canada wants to nominate someone from IEM USA for an award, you certainly may do that, and there's no fee. So we welcome our IEM family around the world to support each other with recognition and award entries. Now, some hints on successful nominations that have been selected to receive awards. The narrative you write really paints the picture of why the award should be given to what's being nominated. Look at the awards guidelines that have specific keywords and try to translate those keywords into your award narrative. We look for that. We look for how closely things are tied together, and it shows us that you actually read the awards guidelines. Answer every section of the award entry form completely. Please do not put in see above or NA or I already said that. Even if you think you're repeating yourself, repeat it. Because we tend to read things differently as judges, and so the more complete you can be in all the award entry sections, the better. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Just simply follow the directions provided in the guidelines. Some of us as emergency managers are so used to just jumping in and operating, and like some guys like me, you try to build together an IKEA project and then read the instructions after it's done and realize that you built it upside down or backwards. So follow the directions beforehand and it'll be a lot easier as you go through. Also, the judges of the awards will not be familiar with the nominee or the project. We work closely with our judges so they deconflict any potential conflict of interests. So if you know someone, a buddy or a colleague who's an IEM member, and you want to nominate their project, that's great, but that project will not be judged by somebody who knows that person or has worked with that person, so we can avoid conflicts of interest. So that's why it's important to be thorough in your description and the award entry, because the judges won't be familiar with it as you might be, or certainly the person program being nominated. Review the guidelines now, because some of the awards require time to gather information, particularly some of the more complex awards, such as the Clayton R. Christopher Memorial Award or the Career Excellence Award. They require reaching out to people who know the individuals being nominated and time to write support letters and letters of reference that need to be scanned and turned into a PDF and uploaded in the system. So take time now to read the award guidelines to understand what you need to gather and reach out to other people to get information from beforehand. Again, I can't tell you the number of times that I served as the chair of the awards program where on day T-1, 1 day until entry deadline, we get these frantic phone calls from people saying, hey, I want to nominate someone for this award, but I realize I need to go out and get X, Y, and Z documents to support it, and I need another week to do that. Sorry, do not extend the award deadline for not failing or not reading the directions in advance and taking the time you need to gather the information. I mentioned before that as you go through the process, if you have any questions, particularly if the award entry database may not be operating the way you think it should, or you have a glitch, or you didn't get the award confirmation email, anything like that, or any questions about the awards themselves, please email Rebecca Campbell with your questions. And if it's a question better directed to Eileen Connors, the awards chair, or me as the vice chair, Rebecca will forward them to us, and one of us will get back to you with an answer. And we'll be responsive and make sure that you get your answer as quickly as we reasonably can do. All entries received will be reviewed. And as an added bonus for anyone who is working on an entry, if you provide an entry by May 20th, we will do a review and provide feedback to the nominator if you request it. If we may spot it may not be in the right category, or it may lack some supporting documentation that the guidelines state should be provided, or there's any other technical issues with the award, we'll get back to you to give you a chance to rectify it or improve it before it's finally entered. We do this as a value-added service for IEM members who can act with due haste in getting them entered by the 20th. It's kind of an incentive to get award entries entered before the deadline. And the feedback, again, we'll provide is about any missing or incomplete information. Those of us doing that review, and I, Rocky Lopes, primarily will be doing that review. I will not be serving as a judge, so I will not be skewing the results that the judges will be doing. I'll be providing technical feedback to you to help make sure that the award entry is sufficiently qualified with what the guidelines require. And I kind of had the guidelines wired in my brain, so I kind of know what's expected and what isn't and how we can make it most successful. The deadline, again, is 31 May at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. All award entries are done online at the URL provided here. So now we'll turn it over to any questions that anyone may have. I do not see any in the chat.
I don't see any either. Anybody have anything that they'd like clarification or some advice? Looks like, oh, we have a couple hands up. Olivia, may I defer to you on, let's see, William Webster. Let me see if I can unmute you.
Yes, hi. Thank you very much for hosting this webinar. I'm excited to nominate my former executive officer as the federal coordinating officer for COVID-19 here in the Northeast for FEMA. I'm now retired and continue to be an IEM member. I'm just wondering if it's possible to nominate a single individual for more than one award. Thank you.
And the answer is yes. If they fit different award categories, you may nominate the same person for more than one award.
Great question. Okay, now I see Dickens Lawrence Odongo. I unmuted you. Think you need to unmute yourself, Dickens.
Hello, how are you? This is Dickens Lawrence from Kenya.
Welcome.
Thank you. My question is concerning about the membership and the category of the awards. Maybe can I represent my nomination under one more than one category award, or is it specific that I have to be in line with one? That is, maybe I have two or more. Thank you.
Well, if you have two or more entries, again, if they fit different categories, you may enter more than one. You are considered a member of the International Council of IEM, and so I hope you are a member of the International Council of the IEM, and then that will provide you free entry for any of the awards you wish to submit.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? I think that's all the hands I'm seeing raised.
Okay, well, again, I wish to review at the end our website, iem.org/2021-awards-program, or just iem.org/awards, and it'll link you there. The contact email addresses for Eileen Connors, the awards chair, Rocky Lopes, the Vice Chair, Rebecca Campbell, our IEM Professional Staff Support Contact, and then from IEM Canada, their contacts. So if you have questions specifically about the Canada Council Awards, you can email iemcanadamembership@outlook.com. This awards overview and a recording of this webinar that we just conducted will be posted within the next 24 hours on the IEM website. So you can also download a copy of this awards webinar slides already from the handout section of this GoToWebinar link. So if you can see handouts on that box on your, it appears on the right side of my screen. That's where you can get it, but it will also be posted on the IEM website in the awards section as well. So I encourage you to be ambassadors for us with the awards program and share this information with your colleagues, friends, other emergency managers, associations or groups with which you work, because that's the best way we get the most participation, is to have other members enthusiastically recommend award entry in any of the categories that we're offering. Eileen, do you have concluding comments?
No, thank you all for joining us today, and really encourage you. I'm glad to hear the enthusiasm for nominating your peers or yourselves where appropriate, and thank you so much. This is what makes our awards program a success, in recognizing emergency managers for their efforts.
And I particularly like to thank Dickens for joining us today, because it's confirming for us that you're getting the IEM emails. We had a little bit of a question about that this morning, so I'm glad to know that it's reaching an international audience as well.
Agreed. Last chance for questions, folks. Okay, hearing none.
All right, well, thank you all for participating, and thank you, Eileen, as always, for your stellar leadership.
Thank you, Rocky. Oh, Dickens has one more question. Let me unmute you. Yes, sir,
Okay.
Dickens Lawrence.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Rocky, for acknowledging and appreciating me. I'm really happy about it. But I wanted to ask a question about nomination. Can I really nominate myself? Another question is about the membership. I think I don't. Maybe it may be out of this discussion, but mine was about the IEM conference in October. Like, are the nominations going to be are going to determine those who are going to enter into the conference, or are we, or is it just being a nomination, or any just a recognition? Maybe I need just a clarification over it so that I may get to know, or I may be on the light. Thank you.
All right, well, for your first question about can you do a self-nomination, read the award guidelines for each award you're interested in. Some of the guidelines prohibit self-nomination and some allow it. So that's described in each of the awards guidelines. The award presentations will be made at or during the IEM conference. We know that not everyone is able to travel, particularly internationally, and with COVID going on and travel restrictions. So we will hear later this year, probably by July, from the IEM Conference Committee about how they will provide access for people who wish to participate but cannot travel. So look for future emails from the IEM that will address that question.
Thank you very much, Rocky.
Great. Thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing your nominations.